printed it didn't come out, but I had grayed out the P and the N. These were really steps to help students in identifying in my AP classes when I taught AP, because there are many different confidence intervals you have to create. So you had to identify the different parameters, and you had to identify the different type of tests or the different confidence interval that you were doing. You don't have to do that, because you're just going to be studying one parameter, and you're going to only study one interval. You're only studying one type of inference. So in all of these, this is what we call a one proportion confidence interval. So that's the technical name. A one proportion confidence interval is the technical name for what we are doing in this unit. And so it's the same on the other page. This is a one proportion confidence interval. All right, so that's what you're studying. It's the same thing for both sides. That's the only thing we're studying for intervals. Next week, we're going to study a one proportion hypothesis test. All right, that's the difference. The parameter is the context of the problem. So what it is that we are trying to create a confidence interval of. So in this one, we are trying to create a confidence interval for the proportion of what? The proportion of American adults, right? That's our population. The proportion of American adults. So this whole question is about what proportion of American adults favor the death penalty, prefer or favor the death penalty. So the proportion of American adults that think the better penalty for murder is the death penalty. So that's what we're trying to figure out. So if you had to choose which one, someone would commit murder, should they get the death penalty or life imprisonment? That's what this problem is about. So we want to know, what is the proportion of American adults who prefer the death penalty? Now, I'm being very specific. If you were to summarize that down in your own writing, now this sentence right here is what is going to go inside your confidence interval later on. So when you're writing the confidence interval, you're going to basically rewrite this part, and it's going to go, this is going to go inside here when you're interpreting the confidence interval. Does that make sense? All right, the next one. In 2002, the Medical Journal Landslide reported that 335 of 573 patients suffering from Crohn's disease responded positively to injections of infliximab. So this one, we're studying about the proportion of those suffering from Crohn's that respond, not responded, because responded refers to the sample. Respond positively to infliximab. The population here in this problem is interesting, because the population in this problem is not just people. It's people with Crohn's. Crohn's is a disease. I know a few people who do suffer from Crohn's. Maybe you do as well. But that is the population. The people that we are studying is not just like American adults. It's not just voters. It's not Michiganians. Sorry. It is those that have Crohn's disease. So again, that information in here will end up going down over here. So I'm not going to require you on your assessment to identify the parameter or the name of the interval, but I put that in here just as a way to help us figure out what is going to go on in that sentence, and that's the rest of the time is yours.